Hey, Scott from aristocob.com here. This is Seth. You can call him Boy. And welcome to Mark Woodman's Breakfast Club. Morning, Boy.
Good morning, Homer. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Doing all right, yeah. So, this is a special episode.
Ba-da-da-da. Why is it special?
Well, it's special because we're going to smoke a couple pipes that were Cob Mods.
Okay, what's Cob Mod?
A Cob Mod is where somebody has taken a corncob pipe and modified it in some way. And we're doing that because the month of April happens to be the month that we conduct the Cobfoolery contest.
Ooh.
Every year, for the last years, we have conducted this contest, and we have two big classifications that folks can enter in, either professional, if you're a pipe maker, or earn some living from your pipes, you're a professional. And if you don't sell your pipes, then you're an amateur. And then within each of those classifications, there are two different styles of pipe. Either a classic pipe, a pipe like you could find one similar to it sold as a briar pipe or a corncob, or it's something that would fall under the category of freehand.
Okay.
So I have some examples of those pipes here, but I want to start smoking.
Yeah.
So we're going to smoke what is supposed to be an awful tobacco. I've heard no good comments about this.
So excited.
This is Five Brothers pipe tobacco. Now, actually, I hear it's not terrible, but it's 100% burley. And if you don't know about burley's kind of a burley tobacco.
Yeah.
It's kind of tough.
All right.
And I loved on the the tobacco reviews website, the room note is said to be tolerable.
You know what, though? We've had things that are not up to that standard, so I'm pretty excited, actually.
That's true.
Here, you want me to get it?
And I need a knife for this. I got it.
Okay.
Just need to get my finger out of here before I cut it. What in the world? Interesting packaging.
So while you load that up...
Wait, what am I loading? I am going to be smoking the a Dotif Volcano. This was invented or invented and created by Dotif. And Dotif won first or second place with one of these. And I love this style, so I said, make me one, please. And he made it in this cobalt color, which I really love. And by the way, this began life right as a Dublin pipe, which he plugged and then reversed it, and I love this pipe.
That's great.
I'm going to be funking it up with this stuff.
To add insult to injury, I'm going to be smoking in your Popeye pipe.
Ah, okay. So that was made by Crankin' Cob.
We're just going to funk up all of the pipes.
Damn pipes on Instagram.
It's beautiful.
It really is. I love that. And he posted a picture of one like this, and I said, could you... Actually, he posted a picture of one like this, then he made another one that I didn't care for the pose that Popeye was, and I said, would you make me one but like your previous model? And he's like, sure. You gonna buy it? Yeah, I'll buy it. That's a shag cut, man. That is some really fine little shavings there. So with most burleys, I gotta take it slow because burley can pack a pretty good nicotine hit as well. And so we'll just take it easy.
Okay. So clearly, if somebody is already making pipes, it would make sense for them to take advantage of this opportunity for some exposure, to enter into the professional Cobfoolery contest. But why would somebody who has never made a pipe, that has no experience doing that, why would they? Who is the person? Who is the target audience that this the amateur category is for? Describe the person that's going to enter into this.
That's actually an interesting question. Did somebody write that question for you?
Nope.
Okay.
That's all
you
me.
Came up with it on your own.
Yep.
I think it falls into a couple categories. I think you got people that are just creative and want to have a pipe that looks a certain way, made a certain way. Maybe it's one that they've seen and they wanted to emulate it, or a style that's no longer available, and they thought, hey, I can tackle this. Another one, maybe, I like these pipes that Dodoff is making, but I can't afford them, right? Or the one, the Chris Morgan Missouri Meerschaum reverse calabash. There are folks on the Corn Cob Nation Facebook group that have been making pipes similar to that, using the same components that Chris made his from.
Okay.
And there's some interesting alterations there. If you're on Facebook at all, I would encourage you to go join that group. It is a closed group. You have to join it. And when they look at your profile, they're looking to see that somewhere in there you've identified yourself as a pipe smoker or a cob smoker. I know a lot of folks don't do that. That's kind of a private part of their life. So you have an opportunity when you hit the join button. You can leave a note and just tell the moderators that, hey, I don't put this up on my personal page, but I am an active corncob pipe lover. They'll also keep an eye on you. If you start posting stuff, spam and things like that, they will boot you quick. But it's a neat group. It's got, I don't know, probably 1,500, maybe more members. Very active group.
So okay. So you said
I went astray.
You
there.
did. It's okay. So you said, someone who might be interested in doing this is someone who maybe is interested in creating a pipe that they have already seen, and they want to create something different, or they want to create a similar version to it, or maybe they have some wild ideas for something new and experimental to do with a pipe. But how difficult is modifying a pipe? I mean, is this something that is going to require a shop, or can I do it with a Dremel in my apartment?
You look at the pipe you're smoking.
Yeah.
The dude is an artist. He painted it.
Yeah.
He didn't really modify the pipe at all.
Right.
Right? So that would be in a classic shape, but the modification would be ornamental.
Okay.
So I would say that unless you are a spectacular artist, it would be tough to win this a category with just painting the pipe. You might have to add some additional ornamentation.
Lasers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had people remember Rachel Turtle Ray.
Mm-hmm.
She made a turtle out of a pipe, and it was very clever. And she made it with some very rudimentary tools. We've had some folks that have added clay and made some shapes like that. The more handy you are and the more access you have to the shop, the more interesting things you can do. Again, with Dodoff, with this pipe, there was originally a stem coming out at this point. You can see where he's cut that off and filled it with a dowel and then sanded that smooth. He plugged the original chamber, and then he added a new chamber here.
Okay.
He also created a bit of a plateau here. So that was all a bunch of handwork that Dodoff did to this. So truly modification. This one.
So yeah, you've got some examples, but what I want to point out is that the examples, I think, reflect somebody who maybe has a skill level that you don't necessarily have to enter into this competition.
Absolutely. The whole idea here is just to get into the spirit and have some fun.
Yeah, it's an excuse to have a reason to be crafty.
And you're going to have a pipe that's unique to you, right?
Yeah.
All right, so this is one I made, and this is just a 5-star MacArthur, and this was a kit. We do sell what we call the Cobfoolery kits in, I think, 3 different shapes. And Missouri Meerschaum has sold to us some pipes that have only been bored for the chamber. So there's no bore for the shank at all. So that gives you the freedom to do with it what you want, or you can cut these down. I mean, this particular shape, about that much of it's unbored. So if you're looking for a big old chunk of cob, this might be a good one to start with. Anyway, I saw a Japanese pipe that had a shape that was similar with a wooden thing that pierced through it. And it wasn't designed as an arrow or a bolt, but when I saw that, it immediately came to mind that would be really cool to do.
Is that at the Chicago Pipe Show?
No, we saw one of them at the Chicago Pipe Store, Japanese pipe.
So cool.
So this one I just made it. This is a hollow bolt from a crossbow, and I had to modify it just a little bit to get a bit to fit in the end of this. Gave that a little bit of a bend using the Cob patented hot water method. I had the bore down through into that, and so because I didn't glue this or haven't glued it yet, I have to align it just right to make sure that I'm drawing through the chamber.
Right.
But I just thought it was kind of cool, and of course, being a clever fella, this is the pierced ear.
Yeah.
You remember that. The other thing that's interesting about this is, like a lot of the old aluminum pipes from around the World War II era, you can remove this and you can run a pipe cleaner up through there, and
nice.
any spit will settle down in here as well. So it's actually not a bad design for a pipe, and it smokes great. A gentleman named Aaron reached out to me last year and said, I understand that you would like to have a corn dog, and he made this from scratch. So this is very much inspired by the original Bulldog pipe that Missouri Meerschaum made years ago. He made the mouthpiece himself and did a great job on this. So this is a whole pipe. It started out as a Missouri Meerschaum cob, which would be one of the requirements of the Cobfoolery contest.
Now you mentioned you mentioned selling blanks.
Yeah.
Is that do entrants have to start with a blank that they purchased from you, or
No, the only rule there is the combustion chamber, the thing that's actually going to hold the tobacco, has to be a genuine Missouri Meerschaum corn cob.
okay?
So they could start with a pipe that they bought at a drugstore or bought from us. If they would like to start with a kit, which can be easier depending on their design, they wouldn't have to deal with cutting off like Dotif did with this, cutting off the existing shank and filling that. Then we have some of the kits available for folks. Another example, pull your Briar cigar out there. So here's a Briar cigar. This is a pipe that was created and still continues to be created by Chris Morgan. He does have a U.S. patent on the design for this, and it is a reverse calabash. There is a calabash chamber right here beneath the combustion chamber. There's separation, and the smoke, just like the reverse calabash cob wasp, the smoke comes into here, drops off some moisture, and away it goes. He took that idea and made this pipe from it, and this is what they call the Cob cigar. Currently, this is not available.
Really?
Missouri Meerschaum made a bunch of them, and it wasn't designed to be a limited edition, but I think that they're working on an improvement to this, and so it's off the market right now. But this began life as a Cobfoolery entry. So he took his Briar cigar idea, made it out of corn cob. Now Dotif was so impressed with this that before he could get his hands on one, before Missouri Meerschaum actually started producing it, Dotif made one.
Nice.
He made a couple of them actually, and so this uses a simple. This is the bit from the end of a nose warmer, a Morgan nose warmer. It's called the Royal bit, and he just found himself a very small cob. His is not a calabash or reverse calabash. He just has a chamber that you fill with tobacco and smoke, and so there. That's
smart.
That is. He felt that this was too much like Chris Morgan's design, that he didn't feel like he should enter this in the contest. And in fact, he reached out to Chris to make sure that Chris was okay with him making this. And Chris gave him some dispensation and said, basically, I don't want you going into full production on it. Don't be copying my patent. So again, it doesn't have the patented features.
Right.
But so those are some examples of some Cobfoolery. There's more floating around here.
Yeah.
But taking a Missouri Meerschaum corncob pipe. Now, you know already what category you fall into, whether you're a professional or an amateur. If you make money selling pipes or selling pipe mods, Cob Mods, then you're a professional. And if that pipe shape is something that can be found in the pipe world, then it's going to fall into the classic category. Okay. Otherwise, I mean, the world is your oyster. You can pretty much do anything. And if you look at cobfoolery.com, that's a blog that I created that I've been kind of not archiving. What's the word I'm looking for? anyway, storing the pictures and some of the background information from
curating
is the word I'm looking for, from previous Cobfoolery contests. So go take a look at those, if nothing else, because there's some really cool pipes, but also maybe for some inspiration. You'll also see what previous winners have won, what their prizes are, and the prizes this year will be quite similar. You're going to win, potentially win corncob pipes to build up your supply, your stash, and the top prize winners win a Missouri Meerschaum freehand pipe on a plaque, and the plaque has laser engraved onto that information about, you know, the category that they've taken in the year.
You have a couple of pipes that, as examples that you didn't make, that you do. Do people who make a pipe have to submit it? I mean, are they turning it in?
Good question. The first year I required them to send it to me because I wanted to get my hands on it. And in fact, part of the deal the first year was, we're going to smoke your pipe. We may smoke your pipe. That was the deal. Well, I immediately got pushback from folks that live outside of our country, and you know, and also it was a pain to ship them to me in time for the contest and back after the contest. So we changed it up, and since that time we've said, no, you got to shoot a video, put it on YouTube. Again, you can get the instructions for this on my announcement video on the Aristocob channel. But basically, you've got to be willing to put a video out of you and your pipe, and you need to smoke the pipe. We've had people in the past that didn't smoke their pipe, and they didn't win in their category. Because the point of this is to make a pipe, a functional pipe. I've had people who said, well, the pipe I've made is a pipe that someone else has purchased, right? Well, then you're going to have to let that person know that you're going to get one smoke out of it to make sure it smokes correctly. And that's a legitimate.
Or make them
send it to them.
Shoot a video of them smoking it. Yeah, I remember having judged some of the competitions, that being a concern. You know, a pipe looks unique, but there's a question of, does it smoke? Yeah. And it's not that it's a disqualification, but if it doesn't, if you can't see it smoke, and if there's questions about if it will, it's not going to win.
We had somebody who submitted what looked like a CAD drawing. Maybe it really was a pipe. Could very easily have been not, and they weren't smoking it, and they
There's no way to tell.
They didn't win.
Yeah,
and so that's a qualification of the contest. Your pipe's got to be smokable, or what's the point? You wanted to enter an e-cig or an e-pipe that he created using a corncob pipe. Yeah. Very ingenious design. He couldn't get it to work consistently, so he never entered the contest.
No, I tried a couple of different years. Turns out, I know now, years later, that I don't have a soldering iron that is hot enough to do the electric work. I had all the components. Had everything. It worked when I'm holding things down, but I couldn't get it hot enough to solder the battery on. And I tried a couple of years in a row and never was able to get it in time, and then just at that point gave up.
You had a neat design.
Yeah, I mean I integrated all of the electronics into this. With a cover and an LED on top, and so as you draw, it would pull in your e-juice and would light up, and you're vaping. It was cool.
He was disqualified anyway because he's family. Well, but you know,
we like nepotism around here.
As an exhibition entry, it was a neat idea. So maybe even that's a category. You know, if you got a pipe that you've inherited or a pipe that you bought from somebody who's a little bit shy, maybe we'll just create a whole new category of an exhibition.
All right. So to summarize, if you want an excuse to be crafty, if you are already a pipe creator and are making some money, or if you've never done anything like this before, what you need to start is you get a genuine Missouri Meerschaum pipe bowl, right?
At least
from either a kit that you can purchase if you want just raw materials, or a pipe you already have, or a pipe that you purchase and you can modify. You modify it in one of really two ways, either a traditional shape or something that is just out there, as creative as your mind can be. And then you record a video of you talking about it, describing it, and smoking it. And submit those videos where?
Well, there's two things here. You're going to upload the video to YouTube as a private video first.
Okay.
Share that link with me, and you've got to make sure you set it so that you can share it. There's three different ways you can set it. One is
Unlisted, I think.
unlisted.
Is what you mean.
That's right, not private.
Private, unlisted, and public.
And you and I, before you shoot your video, you should probably throw me a picture, and let's make sure that you're entering it in the correct category.
Okay. Yeah.
I did have people that entered and said, "Hey, this is my freehand pipe," and it was straight up a classic shape.
Right.
Right. So, if there's any question about that, we need your video to reflect the actual category that
Right.
you're entered in. We've also had some folks that entered in two different categories, and you're welcome to. You can stay within your class and enter a classic and a freehand, but those are two separate videos. We've had folks that entered them on one video,
Right.
and that was kind of confusing when it came down to judging.
Yeah.
So two separate videos, one for each entry, if that's the way you want to do it. Throw me a link to it. We'll review it, make sure everything's good to go, and then we'll add you to the playlist.
And so
And one more thing.
Yeah.
This runs the month of April, and I want to give people plenty of time to get their pipes made. They've had since last year anyway. But to encourage folks to just get off the can a little bit and get moving, there will be a drawing every single week of the people that already have their videos submitted. So even if you don't win, even if you stand no chance of winning, get your pipe submitted and be in those weekly drawings.
Awesome.
Why not? Don't cost nothing,
Yeah.
and you might win something. So,
Yeah. So get on it.
yeah.
There are more details and video out at the Arista Cob YouTube channel. To submit those pictures and the link, you can do it through YouTube or Instagram.
Pictures
or
can't go through YouTube.
Well, okay.
Just, you can email it to me,
There you go.
aristocob@gmail.com, and we'll just go. I think everybody has the ability to email.
Yeah.
Right.
Most do.
So, that's it. I hope you enter. It's more fun with more people involved. So let's do it. And it's also a neat way to introduce more folks in the community to a fun opportunity to share our passion for corncob pipes.
Yep.
Assuming you share that passion. So what'd you think of that tobacco?
That's fine. I couldn't. You're right. You can't smoke it quickly, or you're gonna get doped up.
Yeah, it's very similar to smoking a cigar.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just straight up burley tobacco, and yeah, it's okay. And it's not wouldn't ever be my go-to
Yeah.
tobacco, but we'll keep it handy. We'll put it in the
Blend it.
the
with
blend
something.
the junk jar.
Yeah. All right. Build your pipe. Submit your video.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for your time. Make it a great week.
See ya.